afternoon, guys. We've got Paul over there with the headset on, and is it the Avatar? I call it the Avatar, but it's not the Avatar, is it? AVATA, I farted, something like that. He's flying it around. Basically, Freewell sent me some of their filters, and Paul's trying it out as we speak. And I think he's got 3 dogs after it. Yeah, really cool. It's changed the way it looks on camera straight away, and looks, I mean, it looked well fast on that low stuff. Probably to you flying it's probably scaring the shit out of you, isn't it? It's yeah, awesome. Completely different experience to something like the Mini 3 Pro that I've got. Very different. He's flying, was it 0.8 of a metre or less?
How many metres per second?
No, height off the ground.
Oh, about half a metre.
About half a metre, but also doing 30 miles an hour plus, which looks, it looks on, I've looked through the goggles, and it looks like he's doing about 120. It's insane. But where you've got the ND filters on it, it gives you a lot more motion blur, so it increases that visual sort of experience. It's really cool. I think the dogs are after it. That's fine. You got another one after it. That's hilarious. You got a dog right here. That's epic, absolutely epic. Absolutely awesome. I'm hoping these horses are going to come down. That was brilliant. Absolutely awesome. So as you can see, guys, we managed to capture the dog running after the drone, which was quite funny. Flat out after it, and obviously in the video you see it fly away, because I told Paul it was definitely close. I think we probably would have tried to have it, which was quite amusing. So basically we got that bit of footage there and a couple of photos, which was pretty funny. Shooting with the A1 and the 135G Master, you know, it worked really nicely. The dog was focused on it like you would not believe. It's almost like laser guided. It was hilarious. But yeah, it worked really well. Trying to catch up with the drone, it was so funny. I was pissing myself, as you could hear in the video. But here's the drone flying. You can see an ND filter on the front there. It's, as Paul said, transformed the way the colours look and everything like that. I love the drone and the fact that it's so small. Obviously internal blades, so you can't really hit anything, or if you crash it a little bit, it doesn't really matter. But as you can see here, it's shooting in 4x3, I think, which Paul likes to use because he's doing a lot for the social media side of stuff, and things like Instagram are more of a square format, aren't they? So for him, he likes it. You can shoot in 16:9, which you'll see shortly, but obviously you just crop the top and the bottom off to create 16:9. As you can see there, nice and smooth footage, and this is where ND filters come into their own, especially on drones like this, because they don't have an adjustable aperture on the lens. So for example, I don't know what the Avatar is, but my Mini 3 Pro is an f1.7, so on a bright sunset, for example, when you're heading straight into the sun, your shutter speed is going to be through the roof. So what you need is an ND filter to bring that shutter speed down to, one, give you a smoother looking, more natural looking video, but as Paul said, the colours look amazing now. He's not done anything to the videos. It just, the tones, the colours, the sky looks a lot more natural. It just looks really nice and just works. So he was very pleased with them. As you can see here, it's just super smooth. It looks really cool. Yeah, really cool. And as you can see here, he's just flying about, just basically messing around. But we were just trying them out. We weren't thinking of being, You know, we're not going to like fly here, and try and get a particular shot. He was just basically like the sun's going down. We were waiting for the sun to go a lot lower to get the actual proper sunset. But as you can see here, as he flies across the top of the dunes there, it looks much faster than it actually is. That was probably 20 miles an hour or something like that, but it looked a lot quicker. But as he comes down onto the beach and opens it up to full pelt, I think about 30 miles an hour. It can do 60 apparently if you're using the different controller. But with the ND filter on, it really smooths that motion blur out, and it just looks mega. It looks like 120 miles an hour to me. So that's also another thing that really helps you get better footage. That you end up with stuff like this, absolutely wicked. Yeah, really cool. Basically, I don't really know what else to say about it because obviously ND filters are ND filters, but we know the quality is very good. I'm using the other ones for the Mini 3 Pro, the different fitment and everything, but I'm very happy with mine. Very grateful that Freewell have sent me some to use with Paul to actually try them out. Obviously Mini 3 Pro and everything as well, they've been fantastic. Even the magnetic polarizing filters they've sent me, so I use that on the RX10 Mark IV as well. They're really cool. I said to Paul, what could you just describe briefly what you thought of the filters now he's used them? Because he took them obviously with him. He's been playing with them recently, and he's not taken them off as such. He's just been, every time he goes out, tries them out, and he just wanted to get more use out of them and give his real world thoughts on it. So he gave me a very short but to the point real world thoughts. He said, Stu, the filters are all fantastic. He said, don't even take them off the drone anymore. Obviously I'll just swap them to whatever one I need for the moment in time. I think they're really high quality. They're really good and really easy to use, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for filters for their drone. And it's exactly what I think personally as well for my Mini 3 ones as well. Absolutely fantastic quality, and as you can see, they just work. They work really well, and we're both really pleased with what we can do with them, and it really does change the way some of your videos look when you can get the motion blur you want. Also the colours. Obviously there are polarizing ones as well you can get. There's just a UV one you can use, but when you look at this sort of stuff and you're shooting into the sun, but you're still getting all the lovely colours from the trees, which obviously start to change colour now from the autumn, and it just works really nicely. One thing I did notice about this drone has nothing to do with the filters, is how manoeuvrable it is, and for something so small and more really square looking, it was amazing how it actually does that. Fast, responsive little drone like this, and pretty hardcore as well. He's dinged it a couple of times into the ground, I think. Back to the beach, as I said, we waited for the sun to go down to this point here, and unfortunately it went down behind those clouds, so it wasn't brilliant as such, but we kept flying around trying to get the best shots we could possibly get. But as you see, ideally what we needed to do here was actually either turn the ISO up a little bit because it's going a little bit dark, or bring it back and then actually put a different ND filter on. So instead of being ND32 for example, we would have gone to an ND16 or an ND8 or an ND4 to just let a bit more light in. As you can see here, we're flying and the sun is going, so as the light changes we need to adjust the filters or the ISO. But obviously once you go back into the sun and you're flying like this, the exposure is about right, but obviously it can change dramatically depending on what you're actually doing and where you're flying. So if you flew into a shaded area, obviously your exposure is going to be completely wrong compared to what we're doing here, flying towards the sun, and that's why you end up with a darker area like now, because we're shooting in full manual as well, so we want to control the shutter speed and everything like that to make sure we keep that super smooth look as well. But obviously sometimes, ideally, like I said, we could do with bringing it back and actually putting a different filter on or adjusting the camera slightly. Great fun to fly. I'm a little bit dubious about flying it because I think I'd probably just crash it. I'm very used to the drones with sensors. That was mental, him flying between us. I'm looking through the camera my A1 as he came through, and it just sounds like something out of Star Wars. It's really funny. But yeah, really good evening. Really nice to meet Paul, because I hadn't actually met Paul before. We'd actually just been speaking on Facebook and Instagram. Another photographer that I've been talking to for ages, and we needed to meet up at some point. It was actually a lovely Sunday evening, and we managed to meet up. Got some nice pictures of his dog as well, and with his girlfriend there, and had a really good evening. So sometimes it's just worth getting out and chatting to people, and practicing and just having good fun. It's not all about earning money and things like that. Sometimes it's about getting out and sharing experiences together, and making new contacts and friends and things like that. So photography can be a really good, or videography as well. I can't speak, blimey. Both genres as such can be very sociable, and that's one thing I love about it, meeting new people. So talking about your kit, it doesn't matter what we're using, they're all amazing nowadays. It's just whatever brand you like to use at the end of the day. So as you can see, it was a lovely evening, and as he brought it in there, you can see it's actually pretty stable. It's a little bit more twitchy than the other drones that I use, obviously, like the Mini 3, which auto hovers and has got sensors and stuff, and GPS locked and things like that. But because he's using a hand sticky thing, it's very responsive. As you can see, they're shooting with the 135 there. It's very stable, but it's a lot more twitchy because obviously it's a little bit more snappy. And I just thought I'd put this in. This is me later on. I met some horse riders there, and I just thought I'd show you the difference in kind of video look of something like the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and how different everything looks. So this is a lot slower, a lot smoother, as in like a smoother motion, higher up. And it just allows a different look compared to the AVATA. And it was just pretty much dusk, so the sun was creeping through the clouds very slightly. But as you can see, I've also got zoom on the camera. The AVATA hasn't really got those sort of functions, and obviously I'm just auto hovering. I can track stuff automatically, and it just does a different job, but these bits of equipment are all epic, and having the ability to have something like an ND filter to put on them for different moments when you need that more extra control over your images really can basically make or break your footage. Sometimes it could look a bit jerky, a little bit dodgy. The colours might look right. The exposure could be off. But having an ND filter on can really make a difference, especially in certain light conditions. Here I'm not actually using one at all, just a UV filter. But this is pretty much dusk. It's I just grabbed the drone and put it up. I really wasn't going to hang around because Paul had gone, and I thought, I haven't even flown my drone. I really like him flying his all afternoon. I was like, no, I really should get mine out, and I'm so glad I did, because I met some other people who were riding the horses as well, another photographer, and so it was a really nice day in all. So very pleased that we've met up, and obviously thanks very much to Freewell again for supplying the filters that Paul was using, and like I say, he's blown away by them. I'm still using mine. Obviously didn't use them here, but still using mine when I need them, which is fantastic most times when I go out. And they're really easy. All of them are really easy to install. They basically a quick unclip or rotate to get them on and off, and also very easy to keep clean. I cleaned one of mine the other day, actually, one of the polarizers, so I managed to get a fingerprint on one, and it cleaned off very quickly and easily with no drama whatsoever. But yeah, so anyway guys, hope you found that slightly interesting. It was just a really good fun day. Watching as well at the end, watching the horses being chased by their dog. So it was not just a random dog, it was actually their dog that loves running with the horses. So it was really cool to see. But yeah, really nice afternoon into the evening, and hopefully we can get some more calm weather like this, because I'm not really into flying in high winds. Particularly lovely evenings like this is just absolutely stunning. We may even get some snow. You never know. Later on in the year, we can actually get the drones out and fly around. It will be interesting, maybe, to do a bit of a comparison with the AVATA versus the DJI Mini 3 Pro, just in the complete look, flying kind of very similar runs, so we can kind of see the differences with the ND filters on and off. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you liked the video. So leave some comments below. Let me know if you've actually got any of these drones, especially the AVATA, or whatever you want to call it. Avatar. I think it's Avatar, but whatever. It's a fantastic bit of kit anyway, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more what Paul does. He's going to say, look, check his Instagram out. He's got loads of stuff on there, and he's using it every day as much as he can, and basically just enjoying flying it, I think. Yeah, so anyway, catch you later, guys. We shall see you soon, and don't forget to have a look at the other videos we've got on here as well, and there'll be some more collaborations with other photographers, hopefully through this year into next year, meeting up with new people, and hopefully some companies as well, like Freewell, because Freewell have been absolutely brilliant so far. Very, very friendly company, and giving someone like myself, who's a much smaller YouTuber than some of the larger ones out there, that it's been very kind of them to even offer someone like me, who's only got a few thousand subscribers really, compared to some of the other channels out there. So I'm very, very thankful to them. Anyway, we shall catch you soon. Cheers.